Hello, people around the globe. This is Dr. Sanjay Kumar back once again with another episode of Facebook into Live series, The Connected Pakistani. This into series is supported by Rehan Foundation, Institute of Peace and Connecting the World. Today we have an other guest. He is from the Singapore. Let's move to him to know more about him. Hello, Hyung. How are you?
Hello, Dr. Sanjay Kumar. I'm very good. I'm doing well. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Sanjay Kumar and ladies and gentlemen. Nice to be here today to speak to all of you and to speak to all the fans and friends of Dr. Sanjay Kumar. Thanks very much for having me in your wonderful show. It is my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for coming to our show on very short notice. Actually, it is honor and privilege for me and my team having you on our show. Thank you so much for your cooperation, for your time. My request to you, would you please introduce my viewers?
All right, so my name is Kwan Hong. Kwan Hong is my first name, Tan is my family name, and I come from Singapore. Singapore is a tiny island below Malaysia, especially the Malaysian Peninsula. We are in Southeast Asia and we have a population of about 5 million people. So basically, what do I do? I'm a professional trainer and speaker. I speak to audience from around the world, from around the globe. And to date, I have spoken to more than 800 organizations from over 40 different countries. And I'm hired as a peak performance coach and professional. Sorry, can't hear you.
Okay, sorry for all interruption, Hyung. I don't understand what's going to with me. This is a mismanagement, I think. Sorry once again for all this. My request to you that would you please introduce once again to my viewers.
Okay. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kwan Hong Tan from Singapore. Kwan Hong is my first name and Tan is my family name. And I come from this tiny island, Singapore. Singapore is in the middle of Southeast Asia. We are directly below the Malaysian Peninsula with a population of about 5 over million people. And professionally, I'm an international speaker who has spoken to more than 800 different organizations from more than 40 different countries. And I'm hired as a peak performance coach. I coach people to reach high performance levels and high productivity levels. Of course, I also teach people how to communicate better, to shine on stage, to inspire people, to influence people, and to share information with people. And my job here is to make you a better version of yourself in every possible way.
Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful introduction to my viewers. My question, as you said that you are a public speaker. So my question to you: how you become a public speaker? What inspired
Wow.
you to become a public speaker?
Wow. Thank you very much for the wonderful question. Now, I became a public speaker, but that wasn't something that I planned for initially. Because when I was very young, when I was like a young child or teenage years, during my teenage years especially, I was very quiet. I was so quiet and so shy that I don't even dare to raise my hands to ask the teacher a question. I will usually be the one seated at the back of the classroom, and I wish the world will pass by me without noticing my presence. I just wish to be hiding all by myself. And I was so shy, I was so quiet. Have you ever seen anyone like that? Or were you like that before? And along the way, as I grow up, I realized that I need to change myself. I cannot be quiet all the time because when I'm quiet, I will be bypassed for opportunities. I will be bypassed for friendships, right? And there are so many things, so many opportunities that I need to grow myself, to expose myself so that I can learn to become a better person. So I know I needed to go out there to speak to people, to learn how to talk to people, to learn to be a better communicator and speaker. And that was when I was in university, about 20 years old, I decided to join the Toastmasters Club. And Toastmasters Club is an international organization dedicated to helping people become better leaders and better speakers. I joined the club and learned how to speak better in public. And of course, the good thing about Toastmasters is that they will give you lots of opportunities to speak. They will put you on the stage right in front of other members, and you have to prepare an excellent speech to deliver and engage the audience for 5 to 7 minutes. And because of that, I practice a lot. I practice many, many times. Time after time, I do my speech, I rehearse my speech, I practice and deliver my speech. And after a few years, I gain some confidence in how to speak better. And of course, I believe Toastmasters has also helped me a lot, helped me tremendously, especially the people behind Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, you have senior speakers or senior leaders who have the experience to guide you through on how to deliver a better speech based on their experience and based on their evaluations. They help you, they teach you, and then they will guide you along the way. And therefore, initially, I was highly encouraged to become a better speaker because of the support and environment I actually received. And along the way, I wanted to become an investment banker or a management consultant because one of my strengths is to help business develop strategies to earn more money and earn profits. That was my strength. But along the way, I was given opportunities to speak to youths, to speak and train people, to share my knowledge. And I felt that I enjoyed it very much. Right? I enjoyed this passion to help people to become better versions of themselves. And because of that, I had a lot more opportunities to speak, not just within Singapore, but also around the world. I was invited to speak to governments from different countries like Maldives, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam. I was invited to speak to big banks, banks like Citibank, all the private banks, big financial institutions. And I was invited to speak to big organizations like Halliburton and so on. So along the way, I began to interact with more people. I learned more about different people and grew myself to become the better version of myself as a speaker, a trainer, and a coach. So that was how I grew along the way. So I was very blessed to have all these opportunities.
Amazing to know your journey. How do you become a public speaker? You said that you are a shy guy. You want to improve yourself. You want to see better version of yourself. Then you join Toastmaster, and Toastmaster have trained you. They trained you and become a good speaker, become a good trainer. My question to you that you from your experience you share to my viewers to me that how to be an effective public speaker.
Yeah. How can we become an excellent public speaker? Wow, that's an excellent question. Very good question. Thank you very much, Dr. Sanjay Kumar. How to be an excellent speaker? Okay, there are many things you have to do. The first thing is to be brave, be courageous. Don't fear public speaking. If you want to be a great speaker, you must start somewhere. And many times, people don't start. They don't start taking the first step because they are so afraid to speak. You know, there are a lot of research in the world saying that public speaking is the number one fear of people. people fear public speaking more than death. That means, according to research, some people would rather die. They would rather be the one lying inside the coffin than to be the one giving the eulogy, giving the speech. You can see that public speaking is so fearful. Some people really fear as a phobia, right? So the first step is to always start somewhere. Be brave. Don't fear. Okay, go out there and speak. Learn to conquer your fear and put yourself out there to start to speak. The second step is to join a Toastmasters club if you can. Join a public speaking club. Join a club that allows you opportunities to keep on speaking and speaking day after day. Because the more you spend time on stage speaking to more audience, the more speeches you give, chances are the better you are. That's the second thing. The third way is to get a mentor, get a coach, get somebody experienced to guide you so that he can teach you and impart proper skills to you. You want to be learning from the best. You want to learn the correct things. Don't learn the wrong method of speaking. You want to save a lot of time because you can learn from the best and get the best practices from the best speakers. So you must always get a coach, get a mentor. Sometimes you need to pay for it. If you can afford it, just go and pay for it because the skills will stick with you for the rest of your life. I personally have been mentored by many good speakers and coaches, and the money I paid, I earned back many, many times over and over again because I learned the correct skills. I learned the best skills and I apply the best skills. That's why I'm one of the best in the industry. Okay, so the third thing is to get a good coach. The fourth method is to always experiment, always learn, always experiment. Go on to YouTube, watch speeches of great speakers, go and watch how they do it, learn from them, model after them. Okay, this is very important. And the fifth method is to understand your audience. This is so important, and many speakers forget about the audience. You must always know who your audience are because different audience wants to be treated differently. Different audience have different problems. Different audience have different ways of communicating with them. And you want to know your audience inside out. You want to know everything about the audience. And the more you know about the audience, the better your speech will be for that particular audience. So there you have it. There are 5 different ways. Okay, go out there to speak, join a Toastmasters club or public speaking club, learn from coaches, always experiment, watch different videos, and of course, know your audience. 5 different techniques, right? And if you do all these 5, chances are you will improve by leaps and bounds. You become so good. You become better year after year. Right? Hope that answers the question.
Amazing. You explained brilliantly and share 5 techniques how to be an effective public speaker. Thank you so much for such a wonderful way to explain the 5 techniques of a public speaker. My question to you: how we use our body language confidently while speaking?
All right, very good question here. So body language is a very important language, very important language. And no matter which country you come from, which race you are, what is your race, language, religion, we all have body language. We speak a common language called body language. So for those of you in the audience, if you are new to body language, let me explain to you what is body language. So basically, body language is everything about your body. Your facial expression, your eye contact, the way you smile, the way you move your head, the way you move your hands, your body, the way you sit down, the way you stand, the way you walk, your posture, everything comes together to form speech. And if you want to be a great speaker, you need to master body language. Very important, because the moment people look at you, they must know that you are confident and you are credible. So let me share with you some very simple tips on how you can become a good speaker with a strong body language. The first method is to use your gestures. Now, many times, right, when we are nervous, we tend to have something called a closed gesture. We tend to, we fold our arms, we fold our arms here, okay? We fold our arms, we stand this way, okay? We stand something like this, you see? We hug ourselves or we stand this way. Whenever we have a closed gesture, we show the audience that we are nervous. Okay, a closed gesture is any time when you hug yourself, you put your hands to protect your body, you fold your arms. Very common closed gesture. Another common mistake is to put your hands in your pockets. Some speakers put their hands in their pockets, hiding their hands in their pockets when they speak. And the moment the audience sees this, subconsciously, they won't believe the speaker as much because they felt that the speaker could have something to hide. For example, if you hide your palms, you put it behind your back, you hide it in your pocket, people won't tend to believe you 100%. The credibility of the speaker drops. So what do you do? How do you change this? So first of all, have an open body language posture. An open body language is when you show your body. Okay, you show your body here by perhaps putting your hands by the side. Just put it by the side. It is better than folding the arms. Definitely better. Okay, or you can do something like this. This is called like a broadcaster pose. Okay, put this in your tummy area. Put it in the tummy area, just in front of your belly button, not too high. Put it below at the tummy area. Okay, and if you do this, you will show some form of confidence. And the next way is to always show your hands, show your palms. Now, if you do an experiment, put your palms up, you will see your palms here. Look at your palms. Okay, first step, look at your palms. Okay, everybody do it right now. First version, look at your palms. Second version, look at the back of your hands. Which one feels better? Do you feel better looking at the palms, or do you feel better looking at the back of your hands? Now, research has shown that people tend to feel better looking at the palms rather than the back of the hands. You tend to feel better here. So if you can show the audience your palms, okay, then chances are subconsciously they will feel more comfortable with you as a speaker, and you will get their confidence a lot more. Yeah, they will be more trusting of what you have to say by showing your palms. So in summary, the easiest way to become a better speaker through body language is to not use close gestures, not to hide your palms, but to show your body and to show your hands. Okay, show your palms, or even use some kind of power gestures, like for example this gesture. Okay, all these are powerful gestures or confidence gestures. Okay, so the next part is a very important part is your posture. Posture is so important. Now, before a speaker starts to speak, he have to stand on stage. He have to show himself on stage. So you stand on stage, look at the audience, and the audience is already deciding whether to listen to the speaker or not, even though the speaker have not spoken a single word. The reason is because of his facial expression and, more importantly, the posture. So you must make sure your posture is correct. Okay, it cannot be too overarching. Don't slouch. Okay, if you slouch too much, you never appear confident. You have to appear open but relax. It cannot be too stiff. If the shoulders are stiff, the audience know you are nervous, and their credibility and respect about the speaker will drop, will decline. So we have to be open, stand in a very comfortable position. Okay, shoulder width apart, put the hands by the side. Okay, and then once your shoulders are out and open and relax, and your posture is correct, you will convey confidence. That's very important in any speech, in any speaker. So I hope that answers the questions. Posture, use open gestures, and you can use powerful gestures.
Amazingly, brilliantly explain the importance of body language, what is body language, how we use our body language while speaking. Thank you so much for sharing a wonderful and valuable information and explain brilliantly. Thank you so much. My question to you that would you please share a little bit about Toastmaster Club, how a person can join Toastmaster, how he approach the Toastmaster and improve his skill of speaking.
All right. Thank you very much. Wonderful question. Now, Toastmasters International is an international public speaking organization, and they seek to build better speakers and better leaders. Now, Toastmasters is present in, I think, more than 150 different countries, and they have more than 300,000 members worldwide. There are also I think more than 10,000 different clubs, more than 10 or 20,000 different clubs. They are a huge organization. So basically in Toastmasters, we have something called chapter meetings. A chapter meeting could be a once per week meeting or a once per month meeting that a club organizes. A club could be an organization, a simple club of maybe about 10 over to 20 over people in general. On average, most clubs are about 10 plus to 20 plus people. Okay, and in a chapter meeting, there are three segments. The first segment is called the prepared speech segment. Prepared speech. In the prepared speech segment, the every member is given access to something called the pathways. And in the pathways, each speech in the pathways has a certain set of objectives to guide you in preparing for the speech. So once you read the objectives, you prepare a speech accordingly to deliver the speech to your club. And your club members will listen to your speech for 5 to 7 minutes. That's called the prepared speech segment. The second part is called the impromptu speech segment. In the impromptu speech segment, there's a appointment holder called the table topics, be a quote. For example, Mother Teresa once said, "Peace begins with a smile." Okay, do you agree or disagree? It can be a hypothetical question. Imagine you have $1 million. What would you do? Okay, or imagine if you can travel back in time, what would you do? Okay, so it can be a hypothetical question, and you have to receive the question and speak about the topic for 2 minutes, about 1 to 2 minutes. So that is the impromptu speech segment. And finally, the evaluation segment is when an experienced member in Toastmasters or senior member in Toastmasters who is a competent speaker himself will give an evaluation about your prepared speech. He will share with you what you have done well and what are the areas that you can improve so that you have a better view about how to improve your speaking skills. So that is basically what a chapter meeting is. We have the PIE format: prepared speech, impromptu speech, and evaluation speeches. And apart from that, Toastmasters also organizes many different activities. One of the most iconic activities is called the speech contest. In Toastmaster, every club or almost every club, you have different speech competitions so that the members can compete with each other in a very friendly and conducive environment. So for example, in the club level, you could have 4 different competitions. International speech, in which you have to deliver a very inspirational speech. The humorous speech, in which you deliver a speech to make people laugh, to entertain people. The third is the evaluation speech. You have to evaluate a speaker and give relevant and useful pointers to help the speaker grow. And the last one is called the impromptu speech, or the topic speech contest, whereby you are given a topic to speak about for 1 to 2 minutes, at the maximum 2.5 minutes. So these are the 4 different competitions, and there are 4 different levels. If you win the competition at the club level, you get to the next level called the area contest, the area level. And in the area level, you will be competing with the champions from all the other clubs. If you win, you move up to the division level, in which you'll be competing with all the other speakers from the other areas. You are going to speak together with these champions from all areas. And whoever wins will be crowned the division champion. If you are the division champion, you get a chance to go to the final level called the district level, in which you will be competing with all the different division champions from other divisions. And finally, if you win that contest, you will be crowned the district champion or the national champion. For example, if your district is a country by itself, then you are more like a national champion. So you see, these are the competitions that you have. And of course, in Toastmasters, you have things like workshops. You have speechcraft workshops, and speechcraft workshop is important because there's a lot of transfer of knowledge through these workshops. You get an experienced trainer to come down and train the members how to speak better and how to lead better. And of course, there are so many other activities that Toastmasters organize. So what I like about this organization is the very friendly environment, the very conducive environment where people help each other to grow. People help each other to become better versions of themselves. And I think this is one organization you can consider joining.
Amazing. You shared great information about the Toastmaster. Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful information, such a valuable information. As I am enjoying and learning a lot of things from to you, so I have a request to, can I ask one more question from you?
Sure.
Thank you so much. My question to you that how you practice uh, to become a public speaker. Please share how you practice the tips that you practice your speaking uh, to become a public speaker. So share this journey, how you practice share these tips to my viewers so they can also use these practice in their life and become a good public speaker.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So, how did I practice to become a good speaker? Okay, what did I do? I think this is a long journey. First of all, I practice with the mindset that for things like public speaking, the journey is going to be long. It is a long journey. It takes years to become competent, to become good. Okay, so the first way to practice is to know the speech objective. Before I craft any speech or before I deliver my speech, I need to know the objective very clearly. So, what do we mean by objective? First of all, I ask myself, do I want to create a speech to inform? That means to inform people, to educate people, to share information. Do I want to create a speech to inspire? I want people to be uplifted, to be empowered, to feel good about themselves. Do I deliver a speech to persuade? That means to influence people, to change their mindset, to change their behavior, to adopt a certain viewpoint, to persuade, right? And finally, am I creating a speech simply to entertain, to make people laugh, to share a story, to make people enjoy my speech? So I question myself about the objective. What is the objective? And I plan my speech according to the objective that I want. The second thing I ask is the message. What is the message I want to deliver? I must be very clear about the message, and the message must be very clear. It must also be memorable, it must be clear, and it must be complete. A message must be strong and useful for the audience. So a message could be to believe in themselves. That is a message. Or maybe another message could be about asking people to study hard. Okay, that is another message. So there could be many messages in the speech, but choose one important message to share, very important message, and make the message as memorable as possible. That's the second part. Okay, so once I clarify the purpose, I clarify the message, the third thing is the audience. Whenever I prepare a speech, whenever I think about the speech, I always ask myself, who is listening to this speech? Because the deeper I know about the audience, the more I can craft a speech that is more suited to them. Now, speaking to children is very different from speaking to teenagers. Speaking to teenagers is different from speaking to adults. And speaking to adults sometimes is also different when you try to speak to CEOs. So you see different kinds of groups, different levels, different industries. Audience can be very different. All right. And I always ask myself, who is the audience first? Now, once I have all this in mind, then the fourth part is to plan my speech. In order to plan the speech, I create some form of structure. I need to know a certain structure. It can be a simple structure like introduction, body, conclusion. It can be problem solution structure. It can be macro, micro structure. I consider different kinds of speech structures and techniques. All right. Once I have the structure in mind, I can craft out a simple speech and I rehearse the speech many times. Not only do I rehearse the speech, I also edit my speech so that it becomes better round after round. I will always edit the speech to make it flow better, to come up with better stories, to come up with better points. So what after I do that, I will rehearse in front of the camera so that I can watch myself as I speak. So you see there are a few steps here. To recap, know your purpose. Okay, know the purpose, know the message, know the audience, know the speech structure. Okay, then write your speech, and of course, you rehearse the speech, right, by videotaping yourself so that you can watch yourself. If you do this again and again, then you will become a better speaker over time. Hope this answers the question.
Thank you so much for sharing wonderful information and your practice that how you practice before any speak, before become a public speaker, before any speech. Thank you so much. Today, viewers, we learn from our very great guest from Singapore that about public speaking, importance of body language while speaking, how we become effective, excellent public speakers. Thank you so much for sharing valuable information. My last request to you, give a word of wisdom to my viewers, then we will end the show.
All right. So For all of you watching this show right now, and for all the fans and friends of Dr. Sanjay Kumar, my message to you is this: you must always believe in yourself. Learn to believe in yourself. Believe that you are the one and only person in this world, because there can be no second person who is you. You are unique, you are special, you are one and only one. And you are an important puzzle piece in the large piece of the puzzle. You are an important piece in the large piece of the puzzle, in the large canvas. And because of that, you are unique, you are special, you need to believe in yourself. And of course, you are also important. And because you are important, you need to take your life seriously. Make your life a useful life, a valuable life. Use this life to help other people, to create a better world, to help other people grow and become better versions of themselves. Use your life and your skills to do something good for the world, so that the world will become a better place because of you. Improve somebody's life, impact somebody, influence somebody, inspire somebody. Because you are unique, you are special, and there can be no two yous. You are the one and only one. Believe in yourself.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Once again, it would be my honor, my privilege having you live. And thank you so much for sharing valuable information on how to be an excellent public speaker. Thank you once again. Viewers, in next live show, we came another great personality. Will you learn things? Till that, stay happy, spread happiness. Bye bye, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Okay.